Hi friends, it's Emmy, your friendly neighborhood yogi. I had an opportunity to visit my dad's grave this weekend, and I had some things that I wanted to say to him. I decided to share those things with you all. Please be aware this might be triggering. Hey, Daddy. Do you want to meet my daddy? My daddy loved dogs. My daddy loved animals. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And my daddy would have loved you. Yes, he would have. Oh, Daddy, I have so many questions for you. When did you know? Like, when did your heart know that you weren't happy? I would love to know. Why? Why continue in a space that abused you? You know, I think about society today and the lack of happy marriages, the lack of marriages that work. What's a right marriage? What's a wrong marriage? How are we supposed to raise our children? Like, I don't think anybody has the answer. And I know you are hurt. And I know that your parents hurt you. And now all of you are gone. And here we are, still hurting. And in all of the stories, we tried so hard to just love God. Tried so hard to be a good citizen and to go to church and to do the right thing. And why did it feel so wrong, forced, alien? I don't know how to say this without hurting anyone's feelings, but the fact of the matter is that it has to do with my genetic makeup, and I have a right to have these feelings, and I just feel like you and my mom were not right for each other. I'm not saying that you're not right people. I'm saying that from what I hear, you made a lot of sacrifices for her. But nobody got happier. And I'm not saying that my mom didn't deserve to have someone make those sacrifices for her. She did. She deserved to be with someone who agreed with her intrinsically, someone she didn't have to convince or manipulate. And my father deserved to be with someone who didn't judge him so harshly for his ADHD. He was never diagnosed. But I know that one of the biggest issues in their relationship was his hyperfocus. And the fact that he could hyperfocus on just about anything but what she needed him to do. And isn't that the state of so many marriages? And then resentment happens, and when you have Christian pastors counseling you, what options are they giving you except to pray about it? And follow outdated teachings from teachers who never meant their teachings to be taken so literally. Did you even have a chance? Do you feel like you had a chance? I wonder who's going to be buried next to you. Because I know it's not my mom. And that's fine. I'm happy for her. I have no resentment at her finding happiness after your passing. I do still have some resentment about how she handled you in the relationship. I'm not going to lie. But I also think that you were a shithead. And I think you enjoyed being a shithead, as you should. I inherited a lot of that shithead, but at the same time, I inherited a lot of her voice in my shithead. And Daddy, sometimes I want to give up too. Daddy, these days be hard and long. And my head hurts. And there's just so much demanding my attention. Driving out here, I had so many recollections of childhood and street names that were familiar and town names that were familiar, but at the same time I don't recognize these roads and I don't know where I am. I didn't grow up here, but you're here. And your energy is everywhere when I'm here. You had the capacity to really change the game. And I'm so sad that fear took that away from you. Daddy, I don't want to be afraid. I still am. I'm afraid that if you were alive, you'd disown me. I'm afraid that you wouldn't be proud of me. I'm afraid that we wouldn't agree on so many things that are so close to my heart. And part of me is really glad that I'm talking to your gravestone. And goddamn, that makes me want to cry because I wish you were here. But if you were here, would you even hug me? And what karma? Because I was so terrified. When you were dying, I was so terrified that you would sexually abuse me and it would be my fault. And so I wouldn't hug you. I wouldn't hug you. because I did not want to be the reason that you abused me sexually. And Daddy, that shit fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was raised to believe that it is my fault that men stumble. And I am sorry that you believed that it was women's fault for dressing immodestly, etc., that caused men to stumble. And I'm sorry that we couldn't share intimacy in the last several years of your life. Things have always been up and down with Mom, and you know that. Our relationship has changed a lot, and I'm proud of her. She's growing so much. The last time that I spent several hours with her, she didn't give me advice one time. Daddy, not one time. I was so proud of her. It was positive. It was a positive time, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm grateful to be living close to her today. I'm sure you'd approve of her husband. But Daddy's just not you. And I still miss you with my whole heart. I have such a hard time believing that this is the purpose of life. Like, why create an entire lineage to suffer? An entire human race? Is it a joke? Or is it a joke on us because we could have just lived forever as one being, and we said, nope, split us up. We want to be like the beasts of the earth. And Daddy, I think all the time about the conversations that we would have. Stop being jealous. I'm talking to my daddy right now. I wonder if you would listen to me. I wonder if you would follow my logic. I wonder that a lot. Part of me is glad that you're not here because I can pretend that you would. Is that awful? Probably. But sometimes I do that just because I miss you. I miss our times together that relaxed my soul and brought sunshine to my heart. Thank you for seeing me out of all the myriad children that you had. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for investing time in me. Those are my favorite memories, and for whatever reason, we could just spend so much time together quietly. And it is hard to find a human being that I can be quiet with, Daddy. Let me tell you that. It's a little Daddy long legs, but he doesn't want to climb on my hands, so I'll leave him alone. I don't even so much think of it as letting you go. I just think of it as, how can I live the best parts of you? The best parts that you gave me. Your servant spirit. And your goofy jokes. and your tender, loving hugs, and your propensity for naps. I love you so much, Daddy.